Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be a deep one because the crypto markets are heating up fast, and this time it looks like ZBCN is ready to explode again. We're talking serious bounce-back potential here and not just some mild recovery. I'm talking about the kind of vicious, aggressive bounce that leaves people stunned and scrambling to get in. Right now, Bitcoin is smashing through all-time highs like a wrecking ball. Ethereum has finally started moving after what felt like months of consolidation. And of course, ZBCN is following suit, riding this massive momentum wave that's sweeping through the market. Now, before we go deep into ZBCN specifics, let's take a quick look at the broader sentiment. The Fear and Greed Index currently sits at 71, solidly in the greed territory. And we've been in greed for nearly the entire month. That's a powerful indicator. Why? Because it reflects growing investor confidence in crypto as a legitimate and necessary piece of our financial future. People aren't scared anymore. They're excited, they're pouring in, and they're ready to take risks again. But let's get into the meat of this. Can ZBCN really 33x? That's a huge statement, and I'm not throwing it around lightly. A 33x would change lives. It would turn a $1,000 investment into $33,000. And guess what? There's actually a very well-argued case floating around that says this kind of move is not just possible, it might be closer than we think. I came across a very interesting post that laid it all out. Here's the gist. ZBCN's credibility got a serious boost when its leadership was invited to speak at the British Parliament's House of Lords. Let that sink in. We're talking about one of the most prestigious traditional financial institutions in the world acknowledging a crypto project. That's not just some press release or partnership fluff. That's real-world recognition. And in a space where legitimacy is everything, that's a game changer. This video is for informational and entertainment purposes only. Nothing discussed in this content should be considered financial or investment advice. Always do your own research before making any investment decisions. Cryptocurrency investments are highly volatile and risky. Never invest more than you can afford to lose. The views expressed in this video are my personal opinions and do not reflect the opinions of any affiliated entities. I am not a financial advisor. Always consult with a licensed professional for financial advice. Now let's add more to this. ZBCN isn't flying solo anymore. It's backed by giants, Circle and Solana Ventures. These aren't random VCs. These are institutions that have their eyes on long-term transformative technologies. When Circle gets involved, that means USDC integration possibilities. When Solana Ventures gets involved, it means scalability, speed, and tech alignment. These are big league players, and their involvement tells us that ZBCN has gone through some serious vetting. But here's where it gets even more impressive. The execution. ZBCN isn't just a white paper project, it's out there building. It acquired Gatenox, a company focused on compliance infrastructure. That tells you where their head is at. Regulation, security, legitimacy. Then there's ScienceCard UK, a fintech initiative focused on merging finance with education. Again, we're seeing ZBCN bridge into serious use cases. They're not chasing trends, they're creating the future. What's in their ecosystem? Everything. Global payments, payroll, AI-based payment routing, real-world asset support, crypto cards, and more. It's a fintech powerhouse disguised as a crypto project. While most DeFi coins are fighting over tiny slices of the same pie, ZBCN is baking a whole new one, and they're doing it quietly. No billion-dollar market cap yet, no mainstream hype machine, just solid, deliberate growth. Now let's talk numbers. Right now, ZBCN is trading under 1 cent. Yes, still under 0.01, but a return to just 10 cents would imply an $8.5 billion market cap. That's a 33x from today's levels. Can it happen? Absolutely. The fundamentals are stronger than ever. The partnerships are real, the development is non-stop, and the vision is clear. Of course, nothing is guaranteed. This isn't financial advice. But let me be honest. I've been tracking ZBCN closely for months. Some of you already know this. I've been covering it almost daily since it was sitting at around $78 million in market cap. It rode all the way up to over $600 million and then pulled back. Right now, we're sitting around $318 million. That's still a very low cap for a project doing what ZBCN is doing. Let's look at the current sentiment online. Over on X, formerly Twitter, people are bullish. Posts are popping off saying things like ZBCN is coiling up for a wave 5, and some are even calling for a 400% price surge. Another post said, "Congrats ZBCN. Indicators are showing strong upward momentum towards 0.00043. And you know what? That coiling is real. Just look at the charts. After its last rally from 23 to 0.0037s, a rally that happened during one of their major X Spaces sessions, ZBCN took a healthy breather. I even drew a line on my chart and said, we need to see a pullback to this level and then a bounce. And what happened? ZBCN did exactly that. It tapped that level and launched upward again. That's textbook bullish behavior. That's not noise. That's technical confirmation. Currently, ZBCN is sitting at 237 again, up nearly 5% on the day. Volume is climbing too. $63 million in the past 24 hours, up 22%. That's strong liquidity. And here's the kicker. This is all happening without a Coinbase or Binance listing. Imagine what happens the day it does get listed on one of the big boys. That's when retail FOMO goes nuclear. And now let's dig a bit deeper. That resistance zone around 0.43 is key. We've seen multiple touches there. Historically, it was a support level. Now it's acting as resistance. But once we break through it decisively, there's no turning back. It's going to be fireworks. The rally will turn vertical, and the people who hesitated are going to be chasing green candles. Let's look at some indicators. Using the Traces indicator, we can see we're still technically in bearish momentum on the 4-hour time frame. But this is exactly the kind of setup you want to see before a breakout. It's the quiet before the storm. And if we check the daily time frame, the last major buy zone triggered on July 6th. That means we're overdue for another leg up, especially if BTC and ETH continue climbing. Think about the psychology here. Bitcoin making new highs, Ethereum starting to break out. Retail investors are starting to look for the next big thing, the next altcoin gem. ZBCN fits that narrative perfectly. It's undervalued, it's underexposed, and it's over-delivering. And here's what I really believe. If you bought ZBCN near its last all-time highs, don't lose hope. We are absolutely going to get back there. It's just a matter of time. As long as the broader crypto market remains bullish and Bitcoin keeps printing new highs, ZBCN will follow. These cycles always repeat. Consolidation, accumulation, expansion. Now, let's revisit that 33x claim. Let's say ZBCN goes to do 10 cents. Based on the current market cap, that implies somewhere around $8.5 billion. That's not even in the top 10 cryptos. That's below where XRP, XLM, and other major players are. And yet, ZBCN is operating at a level of efficiency and innovation that rivals or even surpasses many of those. And if we dream a little bigger, XLM right now is sitting at $10.6 billion in market cap. If ZBCN reached the same, we're talking about a price of over 12 cents per token. That's well over 33x from today. And keep in mind, that's still not even entering meme coin territory. That's just mid-tier blue-chip crypto levels. What's really going to ignite this 33x is sentiment. The moment ZBCN breaks above 1 cent and stays there, it's going to trigger a psychological shift. Suddenly, the narrative will go from cheap altcoin to emerging giant. That's when the YouTubers who ignored it will start making videos. That's when mainstream articles will begin appearing. That's when the average investor will finally notice. But if you're watching this video right now, you're early. You're ahead of the curve. You're the type of investor who catches the wave before it breaks. So what do we need to watch in the coming days? First, Bitcoin's trajectory. As long as BTC remains bullish, altcoins will continue to thrive. Second, that 0.43 resistance level. We need to punch through that cleanly. Third, volume. Volume confirms conviction. And right now, volume is trending up. In conclusion, ZBCN is not just another project. It's a serious contender. With major partnerships, real-world adoption, and a growing, passionate community, this isn't hype, it's real. And whether it's a 10x, a 20x, or a 33x, the upside potential from here is undeniable. So that's all for today's deep dive. Let me know in the comments. Do you think ZBCN will 33x? Are you already holding, or are you planning to jump in? Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Until next time, stay smart, stay patient, and stay bullish.